Hello and welcome to the Northlet Diaries, a podcast by Spiritually Gina. I am your host, Gina, and I am so excited to be posting content for this podcast again because it has been a while. So this is going to be podcast number 4, and I am so excited for today's topic. Now, I wasn't actually going to film this topic because I didn't know if it resonated or not with me still. You know how if you are a spiritual creator, at times you write things down or you have a thought and then you come back to it and it's like, I don't know if this is still in alignment with what I truly believe. But I decided to go ahead and film this video because I feel that this is still a conversation that I want to have and that I want to start in the spiritual community. So first, you know what to do if you like me, my vibe, my content. Like, comment, subscribe, of course. And I also offer private services for those that are wanting to expand their spiritual, psychic, intuitive gifts. And also, I do have several courses, ebooks about the chakras, the tantric traditional view, and also tarot, the first system of tarot. Should do a podcast about that too. So much content I could do, and I don't waste time, but I can live in my head a lot and versus sharing. So this is something that I typed, and so if at times it sounds robotic, that is why. But I wanted to have this conversation because there seems to be a lot of opinions about this in the spiritual community, and I of course have my own thoughts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start reading, and again, if it sounds robotic, that is why. Okay, so something that has always bothered me about the spiritual space is the fact that there's this weird purity culture that seems to police female sexuality while simultaneously championing for sensuality and sexual sovereignty or liberation. The main thing being that women, quote, must be careful, end quote, because after sex, we carry the man's energy within us, in our womb space and psyche. Basically saying and implying that women are more negatively impacted by, quote, casual encounters, and that we carry the emotional weight and baggage of the males we engage with. So I've sat with this for a while because something about it seemed off to me, and I can finally put to some words why. And I also want to preface this by saying you need to listen to your own intuition. You need to follow your own discernment. Never take anything a spiritual guru, a spiritual leader says as your personal truth, even if it resonates with you. Still sit with it, still question it, still flip it around and reverse it, and make sure that it is in alignment with your ultimate soul truth and soul blueprint, okay? So okay, getting back to what I typed. The perspective outlined above paints the female as an emotional martyr and the male as the party that remains emotionally distant or unaffected from all encounters. We've seen the posts. Women bond with their partner after encounters. There's bonding chemicals in our brain, etc., etc. And this is why women should not have casual encounters. And many people agree with this, and in its entirety, I do not. Now, I understand that this is something that is extremely nuanced, but to me, it's still purity culture repackaged as sexual empowerment. It gives all the power to the male while highlighting the woman as a victim to a male's lower consciousness, and it imparts the idea that women are fragile beings that will assume responsibility for the male's, quote, lack of consciousness, end quote, and she will have to, quote, purify herself. The male is the one that defiles, and the female is the one that has been defiled. I hope you see how that is unsavory and the opposite of sexual liberation and sovereignty. I personally feel that all consensual, underline, encounters will reflect the level of awareness and consciousness both parties possess, and thus all aftermath reflections, feelings, and experiences are simply an amplification of this consciousness. And so, if this feels excessively uncomfortable, this indicates a lack of internal and external alignment, especially if your body reacts. Excuse me, I lost my place. Especially if your body reacts with physical markers like smells, bleeding, and general discomfortability. And because many women, especially African American, Black, POC, carry generations of trauma within the room space and within the psyche, we must be very aware and cautious of this, or know this. And knowing that this trauma, this generational patterning can impact the partners we select. We should begin to understand that there are things happening beneath the surface that should be addressed. Your body and the encounter are simply letting you know. And by the way, I do not advocate for promiscuity or celibacy. And relating this matter to organic consciousness, I do believe that, we are here to embody divine union, and I also feel that we can be in relations with someone and understand that person to be a lover and not simply something that's casual, but rather encounters that expand awareness, expand the psyche outside of a long-term committed union. And I do believe that the organic blueprint of human sexuality and human relationship are centered around longevity. And I also believe that there are some people's blueprints, they are here to explore perhaps more taboo, more unaccepted encounters. And we see this in certain ways, but I won't delve into that. But overall, I believe that the soul has sovereignty, and I believe that we are here to experience what our soul wants to experience. And sometimes that is going to be a lover, sometimes that will be divine union, and sometimes that will be karmic encounters. And just taking into account what the soul wants to experience, what was seen in childhood, and overall ancestral imprints, especially taking a look at the maternal line. So in short, I simply advocate for experiences that are done in conscious awareness in an effort to attain and experience ultimate alignment within the self and within union. For aligned expansion on your spiritual ascension journey, check out Spiritually Gina's, my website, where I encourage you to live from your soul. Many blessings.